The island of Roatan is the largest landmass in the Bay Island archipelago. Situated between Utila and Guanaja, just 30 miles from the Honduran mainland, it is surrounded by fringing coral reefs and some of the Caribbean's best year-round diving. Healthy reefs teeming with marine life attract thousands of divers a year. Diverse ecosystems with varied habitats are capable of supporting large and small animals alike. Corals and anemones thrive in these blue waters, and divers encounter wild turtles, giant groupers, and large surgeonfish schools on a regular basis. On the northwest shore of Roatan lies Anthony's Key Resort, which is home to the Roatan Institute for Marine Sciences and 19 Atlantic bottlenose dolphins. The lagoon between Bailey's and Anthony's Keys is home to these dolphins. Dolphins are long-lived social mammals like elephants or people, except dolphins live in water. This aquatic lifestyle has resulted in the evolution of some unique adaptations for communication and social interactions. Kathleen Dudzinski has been studying dolphin behavior for more than 20 years.
Good morning.
Her long-term comparative study of captive and wild dolphins has spanned 4 continents, 4 dolphin species, and several facilities that help her to better understand behavior and acoustics comparatively between captive and wild dolphins.
I've been studying dolphin behavior for the better part of 20 years, and in 2003 started studying captive dolphin behavior specifically from the Roatan Institute for Marine Sciences, and since then have added a couple of other groups of captive dolphins. So I've been lucky enough over my career to study both wild and captive dolphins. I use exactly the same methodology to collect the data and exactly the same methodology to analyze the data. And what I'm finding is not much difference between the two groups of animals. The few differences that I might be seeing are related to behavior and possibly to the age of the individuals, not necessarily to the setting where we find the animals, which is to me quite interesting. And what that suggests is that the behaviors that we're observing are probably conserved across dolphin species, no matter where they're found or what habitat they're found in.
Having an active, healthy, normal, and readily available study group is of great benefit to DCP's research. Knowing where the animals are cuts the effort by half when studying dolphin communication.
My first experience diving with dolphins was years ago off Grand Bahama, and we ran into a pod of wild dolphins, and we were able to get in the water with them. And the experience was really amazing because the captain told us we don't know how long they're going to be with us. You can get in and try and see what happens. And about 5 of us jumped in snorkeling, and they stayed with us for 30, 40 minutes. And the interaction was very playful. They would bring sargassum to us and flip it off their nose back to us. So it was almost like they had accepted us into the pod for that little brief encounter. So when I had a chance to dive with them in Roatan in more of an enclosure, it was kind of interesting to see how their behavior was so similar. I had done a dive earlier in the week with some of the captive dolphins offshore, and they were very adaptive to us. They recognized you, but they still sort of rule the day. But when we got in with the enclosures, it was almost as though they were enjoying playing with us as much as we were playing with them.
When trying to understand and measure the different relationships between animals to whom a direct question cannot be asked, one must observe their interactions and behavior. By assessing the various behaviors that Kathleen has been examining over the last several years, like pectoral fin contact, body rubbing, vocal behavior, and object play, she can look more closely at who initiates, who receives, and how often these exchanges occur, and whether there is a developmental factor involved.
All aspects of communication and behavior interest me. I don't just stop at dolphins. I look at a variety of different animals, and I look at similarities and I look at differences. And when I'm studying dolphins, I really want to look at their physical actions as well as their gestures and their postures and their vocal behavior to see how all of that might play together, how all of those signals might be used for these animals to exchange information or share information. And taking that a step further, what we learn about dolphins, I'm very interested to take and compare to social terrestrial animals. Where are the similarities? Where are the differences? Are the differences only because dolphins are fully aquatic, or because they have a streamlined torpedo shape, or could it be some other factor that might be related to how they share information and how that might be similar or different to other social mammals?
For the 20-plus years that Kathleen has been studying dolphin social behavior, she's been sharing her results with the public, not just other scientists. Hundreds of kids, adults, and school groups have accompanied her into the field to get a first-hand look into the world of dolphins and dolphin research.
When I first started going out with Kathleen on the research trips, she was still in graduate school, so she was working for her degree. The first site in the Bahamas was a lot more catch as catch can as far as the dolphins go, because they were wild animals, unlike the site where we are now in Roatan, where we know where the animals are. In the Bahamas, totally different. We have to wait for them to show up. That's probably the biggest difference between 20 years ago and today, is the access to the animals.
She really imparted the importance of accuracy in the collection process.
I was surprised that we didn't have to pursue them in the enclosure, that they actually came up to us, and there would be 2, 3, 4 sometimes at a time. And they would bring us seagrass, sticks, things like that, and they would gently open their mouth, and you could tell they wanted you to take it. So we did, and you'd wave it around the water or toss it for them, and they'd chase it, and they'd follow you around. And they were, as large as they were and as fast as they can move, they were extremely gentle with you.
Like when you're with them, all they want to do is play, and it makes you want to play, and like just makes you like have a smile on your face. It's a very amazing experience.
It was a lot of fun. They were playful. They really engaged with us. I don't think they minded us being in there with them. Played a little game of fetch with some seagrass, and it was a good time. Got to watch them interact with each other and watch them interact with us. It was fun.
Besides using the mobile video acoustic system, or my array, to collect data on dolphin behavior and sounds, we've added a new device to our repertoire, and that's the SM2M, the Song Meter SM2M Marine, which is basically a tube, a yellow tube the size of a scuba tank, and it has a hydrophone attached to it, and we take and set the frequency range that we're going to record and the amount of time that we're going to record per hour, and we deploy it and leave it. So we've used that in Roatan this year, and we deployed the unit, set it to a piling, and recorded data for about a week. Just let the unit record. And when we bring that back up, we'll have audio. And we use these SM2Ms from Wildlife Acoustics so that we can collect audio data on the dolphin vocal behavior around the clock. So we can look to see if there's any diurnal patterns, if they're more vocal at night or during the day. And this will actually complement some of the data that we've collected over the years in Bimini, because we've actually used both the array and the SM2M in Bimini.
In the time that I've been watching the Roatan dolphins, I haven't really noticed anything different, and now that I've gotten to see the Bimini dolphins in the wild, I haven't really noticed many differences besides their preference to stay a little further away from people. But when they interact with each other, it seems that they interact in a very similar way.
Getting to know the dolphins at RIMS, knowing who is related to whom, what behaviors they exchange, and how they spend their time, is allowing Kathleen to understand the social relationships that are key in dolphin society. And one of her goals is to come to know if these dolphin relationships are more similar or more different to those of other social animals.